You wanna have a little blast from the past? Bam.
Oh my goodness.
I still remember that night. Paige, if you loved me, you'd bring me food. Oh, that was a different night. That was a different night. Yeah, because the first night I just brought you Dunkin' Donuts because I was like, oh my God, it's his first day. Second time it was, Paige, do you love me?
Yeah, I don't have any food.
Will you bring me Wendy's?
Please bring me food. I'm the only one here. Yep. It was very nice of you.
What time was that? It was late.
Yeah, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning, I think.
It was the funniest call I've gotten from you, I think.
Want to start?
Yeah, we can get into it.
Welcome to episode 40 episodes of Beer and Fear. My name is Zach.
My name is Paige.
Can you tell I'm excited?
I can tell. I appreciate the enthusiasm, however forced it may be.
It was maybe half forced. I mean, I'm excited. It's it's another milestone. Every 10s,
Yeah.
It's like a birthday.
It
When
is
people
like a birthday.
people turn their 10s.
Our first 10 was the best, though.
It really was.
Got the trombone out, got the balloons.
Yeah, episode 40.
We made it.
We've got a cool surprise that I've been keeping a secret from Paige.
Yeah, he's not
later
told me.
on. And this is going to be a cool episode because we are talking about Area 51.
Yes. Which very topical considering that the government was going to release all the information they had on extraterrestrials.
I haven't really been following that super closely, but I've heard some blips about it. I should look on Reddit to do some investigating.
That's not news.
I'm not. Yeah, it is. I'm not on Facebook, and I don't have cable, so I don't get my news really anywhere else besides Reddit, or if I'm at work and the TV's on.
That's the neckbeards news.
Sure. Call it whatever you want, but yeah, I saw governments being a little more transparent about things, and it's interesting. I need to look into that. So it is a little topical, and my story is going to be somewhat topical too, and I'm excited to hear all about Area 51 and learn about things that I didn't know about. Years ago, I don't know. It was like I went down a Wikipedia rabbit hole, where you just
all the time.
Yep.
You just click on leaks left and right.
Yep. And then one of them was Area 51, so I remember just reading a bunch of stuff and doing my own investigating.
Dangerous.
Online.
I think I ended up looking up a movie on Wikipedia once, and then I ended up on rocket science. Like the science of rockets, and I was reading about it, and I'm just like, this is physics.
How the hell did I get here?
Where am I?
4 hours later. And what's also cool, the podcast I've been listening to, their latest episode, they actually were talking about Area 51 a little bit. They mentioned a couple documentaries about it, and I've been meaning to look at them, check them out, but I haven't done that yet. Yeah. There's so many videos and movies about it.
There's so much that you want to do as well.
Yeah.
You just keep adding to your list of things.
Yeah. But before we get into everything there is to know, everything that we can know about Area 51.
That was deep. I liked that.
Yeah. Recap of, I got a few things actually written down here. And I wrote one down for you. Mm-hmm. How was your week?
It was fine. I spent time with some friends. I got to hang out with you and Jack yesterday. Mr. Jack, that was nice. Mr. Jack, you made me a delicious Moscow Mule. Probably the best mule you ever made me.
Oh, wow.
It was good. It was well done. I don't know. I haven't really worked this week because I requested some time off. So I really only worked like 2 days or 1 day.
That's good.
Because I was, just like, I randomly like requested some time off, and I was like, why not?
I should do that more.
Yeah, honestly.
It's nice.
It's nice to just relax and not worry about work, which my job doesn't really require much worry in the first place, so I'm very lucky in that aspect.
You get to catch up on life a little bit.
Yeah. I was telling you today I got like a bunch of stuff done.
Yeah.
just like basic around the house errands, groceries, hair dye. I got my car cleaned finally. I think that's about it. Oh, I was going to tell you the thing that you wrote down for me. I signed up for a COVID-19 study.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a study for a new vaccine.
Is it like the booster?
No, it's a study for a brand new vaccine entirely.
Oh, so like Johnson, Moderna, Pfizer, it's a new
one.
Okay.
So I signed up for a paid study, because I was like, I haven't gotten my vaccine, so why not?
Okay.
So it's really interesting. Basically, they gave me this whole consent form and everything, and they went over these questionnaires with me about like making sure I am like, what's the word I'm looking for? Allowed to do something, but it's a specific word. Eligible.
Oh.
Eligible. To make sure I'm eligible to do it. And you're like, okay, yeah, you're good. They even did like a video conference with me to like ask me all these questions. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Okay.
My appointment for the first day is on Monday, but the thing is, it's either the new vaccine or it's a placebo.
Oh, and you don't know.
And I don't know. It's a blind study. So I have to keep an electric diary, like online, and like jot down how I'm feeling. It's a year-long study.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was like, why not? What the heck?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I get paid like $350 for each visit. There's 8 visits.
Wow. Holy shit.
I gotta go all the way to the city, but
yeah,
parking's paid for, so whatever.
Excellent. That's very cool. How did you find out about that?
Yeah, there's a website you can go on that's literally just for studies, and I was looking for a study for depression meds. Just to see what's new, because I'm always interested, and I can bring it up to my doctor and be like, hey, this is new, this is happening, would you recommend this? And I originally signed up for a nasal spray depression study. It's a nasal spray medicine.
Interesting.
And I stumbled across this COVID one while I was just flipping through it, because sometimes it's interesting to like look and see what people are like testing for. There's one for like pregnant women, and there's one for like people with diabetes. It's just very interesting, and a lot of them are paid. It's a good way to make like quick cash if you ever want to do that.
Sure.
I recommend it for people. It's completely safe. It's I think it's a government website, so you're not getting anything crazy. And you can do your research on it, and you can do the research on the pharmaceutical company.
Can you find it like on Google, like government study, or whatever you search on Google?
Just type in medical study, paid medical study, and you'll get like a list of all studies in the United States, and I think in other countries that are occurring, and you can narrow it down to your area. So I'm doing that. I go on Monday for my first meeting.
That is pretty damn cool.
So
yeah, it sounds like easy money, and then you're helping other people out too, helping society, helping research. It's pretty neat. I
also think I was going to tell you, I think I'm going to start volunteering at homeless shelters.
Okay.
Or like a soup kitchen or something. I feel like I can do more than just give homeless people that are standing on the side of the road money.
Yeah.
Like I can do that, and I can do something better.
Sure. Yeah, much more productive too. That's very generous.
So I think I'm going to do that in my downtime.
That's something I should do, something I'd like to do.
What about you?
Excellent. I wrote a couple things down. On the subject of COVID, I went to Meijer shopping for groceries, and I was walking around. I had my mask on, and I saw a lot of people were in the store not wearing masks. I was like, okay, I know things are getting a little more lax, but I don't remember seeing anything about, you can just walk around without a mask now.
The CDC guidelines say that if you've been vaccinated, you're allowed to be inside without a mask now.
Right. Yeah, I remember, because that was like a couple months ago when that was released on their website, being indoors if you're fully vaccinated. However, private businesses still have the option for, they can set their own rules.
Majority, I think, of large businesses are just waiving it and being like, yeah, you can just come in. I know the building that I work in, they're fine with it.
Yeah, and in my job too, we recently, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear masks anymore. But yeah, private businesses, so it's still important to check to see. So every place I walk into, I look on their door.
I think majority of the small businesses are keeping it because it's a much more enclosed space, and they're privately owned, so it'd be very hard for them to bounce back from a coronavirus outbreak if they were to get it. I think it's frustrating because people could just say that they got the vaccine, and the companies aren't going to allot man hours to check your vaccine card, and that's not something they want to do, because then it's like,
there's still people out there that do not like wearing masks, have never liked wearing masks, and now they have this opportunity to be out in public whether they're vaccinated or not,
Exactly,
without wearing one. But yeah, that's a good point. But when I was walking out of Meijer, I looked on the outside window, and it's like fully vaccinated people do not need to wear masks. I was like, oh, I was pleasantly surprised. And same thing with Jewel. They didn't have a sign though. I went to Jewel today. There was no sign at Jewel. I'm fully vaccinated, but every business I've walked into, I still have my mask on. I don't know why.
I feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Just because there's a vaccination doesn't mean it's not still spreading.
Yeah, and it's more for, I feel like more for other people too than just for myself. It's just why I'm wearing it. I'm sure eventually when the full state opens up, which should be within the next couple weeks. I don't know, headline I read. I won't be wearing one anymore. But then I went to Crate and Barrel. I got those glasses, and they still have the everyone needs a mask sign up on the. So yeah, make sure when
it's just easier to always have a mask with you because you don't know what's going on. It's much more convenient for the business just to be like, hey, it's for the employees really.
Yeah, extra precaution.
You know,
I'm pretty sure. Actually, I saw some employees at Jewel that weren't wearing.
Yeah, there's some that are being allowed not to. I think. It really depends on the business and what they decide about being vaccinated.
But that's good news. That's a little uplifting. There was apparently a lot of officers changing subjects. There's a lot of officers at the Charlestown Mall here. That's on 64 Main Street on the east side of town. There were like 9 officers doing a detail, and we found out that it was for a movie shoot.
Oh.
That they're filming a brand new Amazon movie series.
Oh.
Called Paper Girls.
Oh.
And I looked it up. I didn't know what it was. Apparently it was a comic book series back in the day. And it's about 4 girls who are newspaper delivery girls. And they are visited by some time travelers. And they get into some thing. It says the girls become unwillingly caught up in the conflict between 2 warring factions of time travelers. And I was looking, there's
seems interesting.
Paper Girls Amazon series casts its 4 leads. So there's articles, if you search up Paper Girls on Google, you can find out about the shooting. Yeah, there's the 4 girls that they cast. So, and it's taking place, apparently part of it's taking place over at the mall. The mall's been abandoned. It's not really a mall anymore. So it's just a big empty store. So they were using that for a filming set, which I thought was pretty neat.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay.
The beer for episode 40 about Area 51 is called, it's something French. Chroniques.
Okay.
Chroniques Vic Secret is the name of the beer.
Okay.
Chroniques Vic Secret. It is by Saint Errant Brewing.
Okay.
Saint Errant Brewing. They do not have a tap room. They're such a small nano-brewery, microbrewery, whatever you want to call it. They don't have a physical location. They have a location, obviously, where they're brewing, but it's not a tap room. It's not an open place you can visit. So Saint Laurent is a small batch nanobrewery inspired by travels and friendships made with the ever-growing community of craft brewers. Our name is inspired by our beginnings brewing 5-gallon batches almost anywhere, at home, at a homebrew club, in friends' backyards. So maybe I stand corrected. I don't know that they have a physical location that they brew beer, but I don't know. It sounds like they've been doing it in a lot of places. Errant, which is an adjective, it means erring or straying from the proper course or standards, or traveling in search of adventure. Errant. This is from their website, we currently do not have a tap room, but see our beer finder for the locations you can currently purchase our beer. And they have a whole list on their website. And that's all they have on their website. Very basic. You can view the beers that they have. That says a little blurb about them. They have a lot of beers available. So you can follow them, find them at Saint Errant Brewing, Errant, on Facebook and Instagram, and then Saint Errant Brew on Twitter. And this is apparently the 2 guys.
Fancy looking.
Yeah, don't they look cool? They're at a wedding I thought I'd jot this down. They were at Transient Artisan Ales' wedding. So it was apparently people who worked at Transient Artisan Ales, they were getting married. So they've done a lot of collaborations between Transient and themselves.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they've released a few different beers and collabs with them. It's pretty neat. So this beer isn't listed on their website anymore. According to their Instagram, it looks like it was first released around early November 2020. So pretty kind of recently. This is the description from Untapped. A series of hazy IPAs that focuses on single hop varietals, double dry hopped IPA with Vic's Secret. So the Chroniques line is exactly that. Chronique, this is a definition, is an obsolete noun of French origin meaning chronic or a chronicle, something which continues over an extended period of time. So the beer is Chroniques, Vic's Secret. So they've done a few of these. Citra was their first, Chroniques Citra, released October 2020, followed up by Vic's Secret November, and then Chroniques Strata in December. They've done 3 so far.
Okay.
So the only hop that was used in this brew was Vic's Secret hops.
Oh, okay.
The only one. So that's they brew these Chroniques beers using 1 hop only.
Interesting.
First one Citra, last one Strata. So we'll talk about Vic's Secret. I added in here that we will talk about Vic's Secret, but then I didn't do my research on Vic's Secret.
Ooh.
So I'm really slacking. Fun fact, they have some stouts available in their lineup, Saint Laurent Brewing, and they distribute them in tiny little 8-ounce cans. They look adorable.
Baby cans.
They're like half-size cans
Aww.
for stouts specifically.
Baby cans.
I think that's a great idea, you know?
Yeah, because a freaking 16 ounce is too much a
It's
stout.
rich, exactly. How many times have we poured a stout and had like 4 sips and
That
can't
was
do
it.
it?
That's all we can handle.
Yeah. So this is a New England IPA. How many New England IPAs have we had so far? I have no idea.
Okay,
So
well.
I'm going to talk about something else. Not New England IPAs. Here are some amazing beer world records.
Okay.
The strongest beer in the world comes from Franconia in the north of Bavaria. It's called
It's called Sure.
Schurschbach 57 from Brauerei. It's German, can you tell?
A little.
It has 57.5% ABV.
Jesus.
The longest storage. Alcoholic beers can be stored for a long time. Boston-based Samuel Adams Brew in the U.S. states of Massachusetts produces Utopias, a deep black beer with 27% alcohol. It matures in the barrel for up to 16 years.
Damn.
And is sold at a price of around $180.
Damn.
The fastest beer, amazing but true, in 1977, American Stephen Petrosino managed to down a liter of beer in 1.3 seconds.
Bring it on.
A record that to this day has not been broken.
All right, let's go.
An Englishman, Peter Dowdeswell, drank 45 liters in 3 hours.
That's a lot of beer.
So he landed in the Guinness Book of World Records.
How do you not get like stomach poisoning?
How do you not die?
Or alcohol poisoning from that? That's a lot of alcohol.
The most expensive beer, Danish brewery Carlsberg produces a vintage beer that can be kept for 50 years. It's 270 euros per bottle, something around $300 Price was topped only once before with another lager, auctioned for 11,000 euros.
Damn.
There's a world record for the longest beer table, biggest consumers, fastest bottle opener. Opened 2,000 beer bottles in 24 minutes. It's an average of 10 bottles in around 7 seconds.
Oh, it's random. What a random, like...
I feel like I could top that. 10 bottles in 7 seconds?
That's if you get it lined up properly on each time.
Oh, yeah, you gotta have, like, you know, I'm imagining like a line of bottles. 2,000 bottles. Fastest pourer. 2009, this guy poured out 250 glasses of beer from a 50-liter barrel in just 4 minutes and 55 seconds.
Wow.
Not a single drop was spilled.
Impressive. Impressive.
Furthest throw of a beer bottle.
Okay. Now we're just getting silly.
World record set by Helmut Maskrokowicz from Belarus, who in '95 threw a beer bottle a distance of 82 meters.
What is that in America?
What is that in America? 82 meters. 0.05 mile. How many feet is that?
Yeah, that's
might be better.
That's better.
269 feet.
Okay, that's impressive.
That's
Once
still
you put it in feet, it's
yeah.
impressive. When it's in miles, it's a little bit like, huh, okay.
And then carrying the most glasses at once, Munich's Oktoberfest. One that was recorded was that by Oliver Strumpfel, a beer waiter from Abensburg in Bavaria, who in 2013 managed to carry 27-liter glasses at once over a distance of 40 meters.
Honestly, I think a girl should try that because our grip strength and our dexterity with our fingers is insane. I'm just saying, like, I can grab things like...
You're like a bag in a Starbucks thing?
No, I just mean, like, I'm good at juggling things around in my hands.
You've seen pictures, yeah?
I could totally do that.
That's insane.
I am confident I could do
that. And then the
that.
amount of weight, too.
I could do it.
It's ridiculous.
Feel these biceps. Feel them.
Mm-hmm. And then...
Mama didn't come to play.
And then the Vic Secret hops, which I promised I'd talk about but didn't put in my section, says it's fairly new to the game, only being introduced in 2013. She hails from the same Australian and UK roots of her sister Topaz hops.
Ooh.
Anticipate flavors and aromatics of clean pineapple and passion fruit with a slight resinous whiff lingering in the background. Vic Secret's approachability and high alpha acid content make her a nice addition to any hop-forward beer style. Her characteristics are best highlighted in a whirlpool of or dry hop additions. Vic Secret possesses similar yet lighter characteristics than her peer Galaxy, but she's no less of a breakout star in her own right. So, came from Australia. Sweet fruit, woody, aromatic, and herbal. She likes sitting in the sun, yeah.
She's just out cold.
This beer, Chroniques Vic Secret, 7.5 ABV, unknown IBU or SRM, no score on Beer Advocate, 1 review, 1 rating, and that gives it an average of 4.21. I'm going to read this review first because it's not really a review.
Oh, okay.
It kind of sums up the beer. This is by Hophead Jeffrey on Beer Advocate, reviewed 11/10 of 20, November 10th last year. This isn't really a review. Tasted in a Spiegelau IPA glass from a 12 fluid ounce can on November 9th, 2020. Hazy IPA that is double dry hopped with Vic Secret hops. I found this to be excellent. So the whole thing was just completely objective, minus the last sentence. I found this to be excellent. So it's kind of a shitty review in my opinion.
I would say
he just kind of described the beer and what he enjoyed it in.
Interesting.
So, but it should be fun. Not a whole lot of information about the brewery, not a whole lot of information about the beer, but this is going to be a Vic Secret New England IPA, hazy IPA. We're going to see how it tastes. I'll grab the beer.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to need you.
What?
Close your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Keep them closed.
My eyes are closed.
Keep them closed.
They are closed.
Okay, keep them closed.
My eyes are closed, Zachary.
Keep them closed.
They're still closed.
Excellent. Keep them closed.
Oh my god. I will not open my eyes until you say open your eyes.
All right, perfect. Open your eyes.
Okay.
We have Spiegelau IPA glasses now.
Look at that!
That is my surprise. I went to Crate and Barrel and bought those also.
Fancy, fancy.
We finally have a new beer glass that's not a wine glass to try beer out of. So this is the same glass that Hophead Jeffrey tried this beer out of. So
we're up and coming.
Yeah, we're moving on up. You can see at the bottom of the glass it says Spiegelau if you look inside of it. So there's a little bit of history about these glasses. This is it more talks about the type of the glass.
Okay.
So Spiegelau is a company out of Germany. In collaboration with 2 of the leading IPA brewers in the United States, Sam Callaghan of Dogfish Head and Ken Grossman of Sierra Nevada, Spiegelau, one of the world's oldest glass makers, has created the new standard for IPA beer glassware, achieved through a series of design and tasting workshops in which hundreds of possible designs were considered. The brewers ultimately and unanimously chose, by secret vote, one glass, number 6.
Secret vote.
This one. From a final lineup of 8 custom-made prototypes, the rippled pedestal base and round bowl showcase the varying aromatic profiles of this hop-forward beer, preserving its frothy head and volatile components while maintaining a wide opening for the drinker to comfortably nose the beer. So it's supposed to be a good beer vessel to enjoy IPAs out of.
Okay.
So it's supposed to enhance your IPA drinking experience. Yeah, me too.
This is new.
Very cool.
I was just expecting you to say that you had a surprise bonus beer. Was not expecting this. Oh, I like the canyon that's on this. That's very cute.
The Chroniques cans all kind of look similar. So this is Strata from their Instagram.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And then the one before that was Citra, which I think you can still get.
Oh, that looks pretty.
Yeah. So they all have the same sort of, it's like a little hut.
Man, I like when it says what it's good paired with.
Yeah. I mean, hazy IPA, I think we've gone over that before, too, so.
Yeah, but it's always different. Can you open this?
Yeah.
Thank you. My nails are short now. Thank you.
If you go on craftbeer.com, you can look up individual beer styles, and we've covered, if you want to listen to, us talk about New England IPAs, check out one of our other episodes. Our beer list is at bit.ly/beerlist. You can see which episodes we did.
Appreciate it.
New England IPAs for, and there's one where we talked about what most of them are.
I don't want to get my fingerprints on this glass.
Good to be paired with. No, it's fine.
Oh. Ooh, foamy.
Foamy.
Don't make fun of me. It smells so good from back here. Ooh, that smells good. These glasses are real good. They're cute. I am in love with these glasses.
Aren't they cool?
Mm-hmm. Look how lingering that head is.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it does not go away.
Wow. Yeah, this one sticks around. Frothy. It's been a while since we had a New England IPA, but within the last 10 beers we've had, I think maybe 4 of them. And they've all kind of had a similar sort of lingering head on there.
I have like one little pour left and I just want to get it in there. Go away, head.
I definitely smell pineapple. I smell maybe a little bit of pear, like sweet fruits.
I mostly just get the piney resin at the smell. I think I get most of the fruit and the taste. I can smell a little bit of pineapple, but that hoppy resin is definitely the most predominant.
This beer smells amazing.
Haha, I got it all in there.
Got it.
Woo!
It smells so good.
It's
I just want to keep smelling it.
Yeah, it just smells great. It's very much orange juice.
Mm-hmm. Hazy IPA, New England IPA.
They always look like orange juice.
To 40 episodes.
What a tiny clink.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's smooth.
Interesting.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
A little bit of a bite in the tongue from the hop, but really not bad, not overwhelming in any way.
Yeah, just a little bit. Slight.
I feel like the glass makes this an experience. Like, I don't want to be like, you must have your salad fork with your salad, but I'm just saying.
You might be right. Yeah. There's probably something to these glasses. But you're right. Yeah, it's very smooth. And I don't know. I'm trying to remember what the other New England IPAs tasted like, the ones that we tried recently. This one might be my favorite out of the lot, but
I am not mad.
Good. I never want to make you mad on the show.
I mean, I was a little bit mad about the strawberry one where you tried to poison me.
I was upset too, but that's good. I'm glad you're not mad. What does it taste like?
Definitely get the pineapple.
Yeah.
Very predominant. That hoppy pine that's in every IPA.
Mm-hmm. But it's not as, I feel like it's not as in your face.
No, not really.
You know, remember Shapes and Lines? That was Transient. That was the first New England IPA we had out of the last 10. That one was definitely very grassy and farmy tasting. This one, really not a whole lot of that. I feel like the fruit's a little more forward. Lacing on the glass is good. What'd you call them? Stumps? Yeah. Glass stumps are good.
Because wine has legs, beer has stumps.
I am in love with these glasses. I think any IPA we have, obviously
I love them.
We'll use these.
I feel like there's more, because there's more besides the pineapple. There's more besides the hop, and I cannot place my finger on what that flavor is.
It is a very smooth sipping beer. It goes down real easy. And the bitterness isn't overwhelming on it.
No, it's just like this pleasant bite to it that makes it not just fruit punch, or not fruit punch, but not just juice.
Yeah.
It gives it that, this is what makes it an adult beverage.
Right. You're not just drinking like pineapple orange juice or whatever, you know.
I want to say grapefruit. But that could just be because I compare the bitterness of grapefruit juice to the hop. But grapefruit juice that bitterness is there.
The burp is sweet. Little.
I had a rolling one.
A rolling one?
Yeah, a rolling burp.
I don't know. It's pleasant.
Very.
It's bright. It's
I think
tasty.
we just like IPAs more than anything.
You know what's funny is that listening back to some of our older stuff, we were very critical about IPAs.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, and now it's, we've come to love them and enjoy them after 40 episodes. They're pleasant. We've had some not so good ones. We've had very good ones, so they're all different.
I'm very excited for the beers that I picked out. I did my head shopping I was telling you about. I picked out my next 4 episodes.
That's crazy.
I found some very interesting beers that I'm very excited for.
Okay.
I found one that's completely different than one we've tried before.
Ooh.
So I don't think we've ever had one of these.
Okay. I'm excited. Yeah, the flavor key for the Vic Secret hops: sweet fruit, woody aromatic, and herbal. And since that's the only hop that's in this beer, I mean, it's hitting all 3 of those. I
Very
think.
much so.
Oh, and I'm looking on the can. They don't have a brew pub, like we mentioned. This one says brewed and canned at Temperance Beer Company, 2000 Dempster Street in Evanston, Illinois. So I guess they've been, collaborating with other breweries using their equipment. And Saint Laurent has their own hops, probably, their own materials and ingredients. And they just kind of borrow people's stuff and make their beer. And I think that's really cool. Store cold, drink fresh. Artwork by Hugo Trejo. So, my number one for the last 10 beers we've tried was Brunch Punch Fruit Punch, the sour ale that we had last week for episode 39 that unfortunately Paige was allergic to and I almost killed her. My number 2, Bel Air Sour Key Lime, episode 33, the second sour ale that we had. And then my number 3 in third place, West Coast Wizard, the American IPA for episode 32. Your number 1 was Bel Air Sour Key Lime for sour ale. Number 2, Food Truck, the Pilsner. That was a good beer. And then number 3, Wrapped in Cashmere by Urban Brew Labs.
I liked a lot of your
35.
beers this round.
Yeah. And we had a little bit of we did have 4 New England IPAs.
Oh, we did.
1 American IPA. So 5 of those episodes were IPAs. But other than that, I think we had a pretty good variety. We had a Pilsner, we had a couple sour ales, a couple wild ales, had a stout. So yeah, it was a good. It's been a good past.
What was your number 10?
My number 10 was Secret Savages.
What was my number 10?
Brunch. What do you think? So overall, it was kind of a little bit polarizing. So there weren't a whole lot of beers that were like, more towards the top. But cumulatively, the best beer that we had was Bel Air Sour Key Lime. It was my number 2, your number 1. And the worst beer cumulatively was Secret Savages by Three Floyds, the Wild Ale.
Weird beer.
It was a weird beer. Very unique. Not necessarily a bad beer, but it's just the other ones that we had were better. So cool. Exciting. Can't wait for the next 10. It'll be fun. Especially now that you told me that we've got some stuff that we haven't tried before.
We've got some interesting stuff coming your way.
Amazing. Tell me all about Area 51.
Area 51. It is a highly classified United States Air Force facility located within the Nevada Test and Training Range. We've had this conversation before, Nevada.
Yeah, that's right. You're not the only one who says Nevada. I've heard other people say Nevada. I don't know if it's the podcast
I'm not
I'm listening
the only
to,
freak.
but I don't know. I say Nevada like a frickin' Midwestern or, Minnesotan. Nevada. Wow.
The facility is officially called Homey Airport or Groom Lake after the salt flat situated next to the airfield. Details of the facility's operations are not made public, but the USAF says that it's an open training range. We don't trust the government.
Okay, training range.
We don't trust the government. Not at all. The intense secrecy. You're just sniffing the beer right now?
It smells so good.
Okay. Surrounding the base has made it the frequent subject of conspiracy theories and a central component of unidentified flying objects or UFOs. The base has never been declared a secret base, but all research and occurrences in Area 51 are top secret, sensitive, compartmented information, TS or SCI. The CIA publicly acknowledged the existence of the base for the first time on June 25th, 2013. So they didn't even acknowledge it before that. Not until 2013.
It did not exist according to them.
Following a Freedom of Information Act request filed in 2005.
Oh, wow.
And at the same time, they declassified documents detailing the history and purpose of Area 51. If you're interested in where it's located, it's about 83 miles northwest of Las Vegas. So, you know, I'm going to be in Las Vegas in July.
I was going to mention something. You're going to be in Nevada, so...
Nevada?
You better stop by. Make a trip, take some photos.
Just saying. The surrounding area is a popular tourist destination, including the small town of Rachel on the extraterrestrial highway.
Yep. I know a little bit about that town.
The original rectangular base of 6 by 10 miles is now part of the so-called Groom Box, a rectangular area measuring 23 by 25 miles of restricted airspace. The area is connected to the internal Nevada test site road network with paved roads leading south to Mercury and west to Yucca Flat. Leading northeast from the lake, the wide and well-maintained Groom Lake Road runs through a pass in the jumbled hills. Area 51 shares a border with the Yucca Flat region of the Nevada test site, the location of 739 of the 928 nuclear tests conducted by the United States Department of Energy at NTS.
Wow.
Groom Lake is a salt flat, like I mentioned, in Nevada used for runways of the Nellis Bombing Range test site on the north of the area on the north of the Area 51 USAF military installation. The origin of the name Area 51 is unclear. It is believed to be from an Atomic Energy Commission numbering grid, although Area 51 is not part of this system. It is adjacent to Area 15. Another explanation is that 51 was used to, because it was unlikely that the AEC would use the number, Atomic Energy Commission. According to the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, the correct names for the facility are Homey Airport and Groom Lake. Though the name Area 51 was used in a CIA documentary from the Vietnam War, document. My brain no work. I was going to say documentary on the Vietnam War. Interesting. The facility has also been referred to as Dreamland and Paradise Ranch.
Oh.
What was Michael Jackson's house called?
I don't know. It had a name.
Yeah. Neverland, I'm pretty sure. Neverland Ranch. I like that I asked the question and then answer my own question.
Neverland. I know it's called a name.
The USAF Public Relations has referred to the facility as an operating location near Groom Dry Lake. The special use airspace around the field is referred to as Restricted Area 4808 North. Lead and silver were discovered in the southern part of the Groom Range in 1864, and the English company Groom Lead Mines Limited financed the Conception mines in the 1870s, giving the district its name. There are nearby mines included called Maria, Willow, and White Lake.
I was wondering how it got the name, like what was significant about 51, but...
The CIA established the Groom Lake Test Facility in April of 1955 for Project Aquatome.
That's my mom was born.
Oh.
November 55.
The development of the Lockheed U-2 Strategic Reconnaissance Aircraft, Project Director Richard M. Bissell Jr. understood that the flight test and pilot training programs could not be conducted at Edwards Air Force Base or Lockheed's Palmdale facility, given the extreme secrecy surrounding the project. He conducted a search for a suitable testing site for the U-2 under the same extreme security as the rest of the project. He notified Lockheed, who sent an inspection team out to Groom Lake. According to Lockheed's U-2 designer, Kelly Johnson, this is a quote, "We flew over it, and within 30 seconds, you knew that was the place. It was right by a dry lake. Man alive, we looked at that lake and we all looked at each other. It was another Edwards. So we wheeled around, landed on the lake, taxied up to one end of it. It was a perfect natural landing field, as smooth as a billiard table without anything being done to it."
Oh.
The lake bed made an ideal strip for testing aircraft, and the Emigrant Valleys, mountain ranges, and the NTS perimeter protected the site from visitors. It was about 100 miles north of Las Vegas. The CIA asked the AEC to acquire the land designated Area 51 on the map and to add it to the Nevada test site. Johnson named the area Paradise Ranch to encourage workers to move to the new facility in the middle of nowhere, as the CIA later described it, and the name became shortened to The Ranch. On May 4th, 1955, a survey team arrived at Groom Lake and laid out a 5,000-foot north-south runway on the southwest corner of the lake bed and designated a site for a base support facility. The ranch initially consisted of little more than a few shelters, workshops, and trailer homes in which to house its small team. A little over 3 months later, the base consisted of a single paved runway, 3 hangars, a control tower, and rudimentary accommodations for test personnel. The base's few amenities included a movie theater and a volleyball court.
Okay.
There was also a mess hall, several wells, and fuel storage tanks. CIA, Air Force, and Lockheed personnel began arriving by July 1955. The ranch received its first U-2 delivery on July 24th of 1955 from Burbank on a C-124 Globemaster II cargo plane, accompanied by Lockheed technicians on a Douglas DC-3. These are all types of planes.
Okay.
Regular military airport transport service flights were set up between Area 51 and Lockheed's offices in Burbank, California. To preserve secrecy, personnel flew to Nevada on Monday mornings and returned to California on Friday evenings. Project Oxcart, this is a new thing, was established in August 1959 for anti-radar studies, aerodynamic structural tests, and engineering designs, and all later worked on the Lockheed A-12. This included testing at Groom Lake, which had inadequate facilities consisting of buildings for only 150 people, a 5,000-foot asphalt runway, and limited fuel hangar and shop space. Groom Lake had received the name Area 51 when A-12 test facility construction began in September of 1960, including a new 8,500-foot runway to replace the existing runway. Reynolds Electrical and Engineering Company began construction on Project 51 on the 1st of October 1960 with double-shift construction schedules. The contractor upgraded base facilities and built a new 10,000-foot runway diagonally across the southwest corner of the lake bed. They marked an arched median spiral on the dry lake approximately 2 miles across so that an A-12 pilot approaching the end of the overrun could abort instead of plunging into the sagebrush.
Well, that's good.
Yes. Who wants to go into the sagebrush? Not me.
The worst.
Area 51 pilots called it the Hook. For crosswind landings, they marked 2 unpaved airstrips on the dry lake bed. By August 1961, construction of the essential facilities was complete. 3 surplus Navy hangars were erected on the base's north side, while Hangar 7 was new under construction. The original U-2 hangars were converted to maintenance and machine shops. Facilities in the main area included workshops and buildings for storage and administration, a commissary, a control tower, a fire station, and housing. The Navy also contributed more than 130 surplus Babbitt duplex housing units for long-term occupancy facilities. Older buildings were repaired and additional facilities were constructed as necessary. A reservoir pond surrounded by trees served as a recreational area 1 mile north of the base. Other recreational facilities included a gymnasium, a movie theater, and a baseball diamond.
Oh, wow.
A permanent aircraft fuel tank farm was constructed by early 1962 for the special JP-7 fuel required by the A-12. 7 tanks were constructed with a total capacity of 1,320,000 gallons. Security was enhanced for the arrival of Oxcart, and the small mine was closed in the Groom Basin. In January of 1962, the Federal Aviation Administration expanded the restricted airspace in the vicinity of Groom Lake, and the lake bed became the center of a 600-square-mile addition to restricted area R-4808 North. The CIA facility received 8 USAF F-100 Voodoos for training, 2 T-33 Shooting Star trainers for proficiency flying, a C-130 Hercules for cargo transport, a U-3A for administrative purposes, a helicopter for search and rescue, and a Cessna 180 for, what's the word? Oh my God. Liaison.
Liaison.
Use. And Lockheed provided an F-104 Starfighter for use as a chase plane. Okay. They're chasing UFOs.
Yep, that's what they're chasing.
The first A-12 test aircraft was covertly trucked from Burbank on the 26th of February 1962 and arrived at Groom Lake on the 28th of February. It made its first flight the 26th of April 1962 when the base had over 1,000 personnel. Most of the stuff that they go over and most of my notes is about aircrafts that are tested at this facility.
Okay. I'm not going to understand most of it, but...
During the Cold War, one of the missions carried out by the United States was the test and evaluation of captured Soviet fighter aircraft. Beginning in the late 1960s and for several decades, Area 51 played host to an assortment of Soviet-built aircraft under the Have Donut, Have Drill, and Have Ferry programs.
Half donut?
Have
donut?
Have Drill is the name of the Defense Intelligence Agency project whose purpose was to evaluate and exploit a MiG-17 Fresco from Israel. And then the Have Donut, is another project to evaluate and exploit an MiG-21 Fishbed E that also was acquired from Israel.
So is this half, like a half of a donut, or have?
To
donut?
have.
Oh, a have donut.
As I was to have. I have this item.
I have donut. Okay.
The first MiGs flown in the United States were used to evaluate the aircraft in performance, technical, and operational compatibilities, pitting the types against U.S. fighters. Mm-hmm. In August of 1966, Iraqi Air Force fighter pilot Captain Munir Redfa defected, flying his MiG-21 to Israel after being ordered to attack Iraqi Kurd villages with napalm. His aircraft was transferred to Groom Lake in late 1967 for study. In 1968, the U.S. Air Force and Navy jointly formed the project that is known as Have Donut.
Have Donut.
In which Air Force Systems Command, Tactical Air Command, and the U.S. Navy's Air Test and Evaluation Squadron 4 flew this acquired Soviet-made aircraft in simulated air combat training. There's also Have Blue, Have Ferry. They're all projects based off of like Soviet-made aircrafts that
Why is it
were tested.
have?
I don't know. They don't say the title.
Ferry. I have donut.
I'm thinking that there was just a guy in a boardroom and they were all meeting and they were like, what are we going to call this? And he just looked down at his hand like mid-bite and he's like, have donut?
Have donut.
That's it, Johnson. You're promoted. Admiral.
It's perfect.
You genius. The United States government has provided minimal information regarding Area 51. The area surrounding the lake is permanently off limits to both civilian and normal military air traffic.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Security clearances are checked regularly. Cameras and weaponry are not allowed. Even military pirates...
Yar! Let me in, see the aliens.
But it's military pirates, so I'm thinking like they're like really formal.
The eye patch is camo.
Yes. Wow. The stump for the leg is an AR-15. Even military pilots training in the NAFR risk disciplinary action if they stray into the exclusionary box surrounding Groom's airspace. Mm-hmm. Surveillance is supplemented using buried motion sensors. Area 51 is a common destination for Janet, a small fleet of passenger aircraft operated on behalf of the Air Force to transport military personnel.
I thought it was just a woman named Janet.
A woman named Janet. She comes out and hangs out.
Yeah, she just hangs around.
Janet, what are you doing here? We told you can't be here. They're just like, dude, you don't know who that is. That's Janet. Let her in. Like, what are you doing?
This is your first day?
Yeah, what's this? Embarrassing. What are you, a pirate? In 1994, 5 unnamed civilian contractors and the widows of contractors, Walter Kazza, and Robert Frost, not the poet, sued the Air Force and the United States Environmental Protection Agency. They alleged that they had been present when large quantities of unknown chemicals had been burned in open pits and trenches at Groom. Rutgers University biochemists and analyzed biopsies from the complainants and found high levels of dioxin, dibenzofuran, and trichloroethylene in their body fat.
Oh, I'm assuming that those two things aren't generally common.
3 things.
3 things aren't generally common in a human body.
No. You'd be correct. They're pollutants.
Oh.
The complaints allege that they had sustained skin, liver, and respiratory injuries due to their work at Groom, and that this had contributed to the deaths of Frost and Kaz.
Oh, wow.
The suit sought compensation for the injuries, claiming that the Air Force had illegally handled toxic materials and that the EPA had failed in its duty to enforce the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, which governs the handling of dangerous materials. They also sought detailed information about the chemicals, hoping that this would facilitate the medical treatment of survivors. Congressman Lee H. Hamilton, former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, told 60 Minutes reporter Leslie Stahl, the Air Force is classifying all information about Area 51 in order to protect themselves from a lawsuit.
Interesting.
So in order to avoid a lawsuit, we're going to classify this. Sorry, we can't tell you what we burned in this pit because it's classified. It's classified so you can't sue us.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Loopholes.
Embarrassing. The FBI agent that listens to this is going to be so upset. I bet you his name is like Harris. Harris, I'm sorry.
Sorry, bud.
We're not challenging the government. We would never challenge the government. That's right. Right, Zachary?
Yeah, of course. 100%.
Oh, we love America. The government invoked the state secrets privilege, which, exhale, is an evidentiary rule created by the United States legal precedent. Application of the privilege results in exclusion of evidence from a legal case based solely on affidavits submitted by the government stating that the court proceedings might disclose sensitive information which might endanger national security. They petitioned U.S. District Judge Philip Pro to disallow disclosure of classified documents or examination of secret witnesses, claiming that this would expose classified information and threaten national security.
Right.
Judge Pro rejected the government's argument, so President Bill Clinton issued a presidential determination exempting what it called the Air Force's operating location near Groom Lake, Nevada, from environmental disclosure laws. Consequently, Pro dismissed the suit due to lack of evidence. Wild. The president annually issues a determination continuing the Groom exception, which is the only formal recognition that the government has ever given that Groom Lake is more than simply another part of the Nellis complex.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go into this. I have a few more things to cover.
Yeah.
So as far as security of the base, the perimeter of the base is marked out by orange posts and patrolled by guards in white pickup trucks and camouflage fatigues. The guards are popularly referred to as camo dudes by enthusiasts. The guards will not answer questions about their employers. However, according to the New York Daily News, there are indications that they are employed through a contractor such as AECOM. Signage around the base perimeter advises that deadly force is authorized against trespassers. Technology is also heavily used to maintain the border of the base. This includes surveillance cameras and motion detectors. Some of these motion detectors are placed some distance away from the base on public land to notify guards of people approaching. On January 28th of 2019, an unidentified man drove through a security checkpoint near Mercury, Nevada in an apparent attempt to enter the base. After an 8-mile vehicle pursuit by base security, the man exited his vehicle carrying a cylindrical object and was shot dead.
A cylindrical object?
After refusing to obey requests to halt.
Oh, wow.
In 1974, Dwayne A. Day published Astronauts in Area 51, the Skylab incident, in the Space Review. It was based on, it was published in 2006. It was based on a memo written in 1974 to CIA Director William Colby by an unknown CIA official. Their memo reported that astronauts on board Skylab had inadvertently photographed a certain location. The name of the location was obscured, but the context led Day to believe that the subject was Groom Lake. Day argues that the CIA considered no other spot on Earth to be as sensitive as Groom Lake. The memo details debate between federal agencies regarding whether the images should be classified, with Department of Defense agencies arguing that it should, and NASA and the State Department arguing that it should not be classified. The memo itself questions the legality of retroactively classifying unclassified images.
I'm trying to think, like, this was years ago when I was looking at, I fell down this rabbit hole, Area 51. I was looking at pictures and stuff. And I'm pretty sure, like, on Google Maps or Google Earth, whatever, satellite view, like, the area around, like, you can see Rachel and Las Vegas, and, you know, it's very high-quality images. But as soon as you, like, go over to Groom Lake, it's not as, you know, high quality. There were a lot of details obscured from that area. I just looked it up now, and it's pretty, you can zoom in on a lot of shit, so it's pretty high def now. So I guess they've been a little more lax about, you know, like aerial photography, satellite view. It's interesting.
Area 51 has become a focus of modern conspiracy theories due to its secretive nature and connection to classified aircraft research. Theories include the storage, examination, and reverse engineering of crashed alien spacecraft,
Of course.
including material supposedly recovered at Roswell, the study of their occupants and the manufacture of aircraft based on technology from aliens, meetings or joint undertakings with extraterrestrials, the development of exotic energy weapons.
I'm just imagining they're all sitting around like a conference table.
A glass of water in front of the alien, but the alien is like made of like space dust.
You got like 5 Greys sitting on one side, a bunch
Oh
of
my
military
God, the
people
Greys.
sitting on the other side. They're all just having a cordial
Greys.
conversation.
That's actually my favorite alien type.
Yeah.
I love the Greys.
Did we covered aliens? Yeah. So yeah, that's right.
The development of exotic energy weapons for the Strategic Defense Initiative. I'm losing it. Or other weapons programs. The development of weather control. The development of time travel and teleportation technology.
Sure.
The development of exotic propulsion systems related to the Aurora program. And it's the Aurora program is a rumored 1980s American reconnaissance aircraft.
Oh, okay.
Many of the hypotheses concern underground facilities at Groom or at Papoose Lake, which is 8.5 miles south. In the mid-1950s, civilian aircraft flew under 20,000 feet, while military aircraft flew under 40,000 feet. The U-2 began flying at above 60,000 feet, and there was an increasing number of UFO sightings reports. Sighting reports. Sightings occurred most often during early evening hours when airline pilots flying west saw the U-2's silver wings reflect the setting sun, giving the aircraft a fiery appearance. Many sighting reports came to the Air Force's Project Blue Book, which investigated UFO sightings through air traffic controllers and letters to the government. The project checked U-2 and later Oxcart flight records to eliminate the majority of UFO reports that it received during the late 1950s and 1960s, although it could not reveal to the letter writers the truth behind what they saw. Similarly, veterans of experimental projects such as Oxcart at Area 51 agreed that their work inadvertently prompted many of the UFO sightings and other rumors. The shape of Oxcart was unprecedented, with its wide disc-like fuselage designed to carry vast quantities of fuel. Commercial pilots cruising over Nevada at dusk would look up and see the bottom of Oxcart whiz by at 2,000 plus miles per hour. The aircraft's titanium body, moving as fast as a bullet, would reflect the sun's rays in a way that could make anyone think UFO. Who wrote this, Harris?
Oh yeah, Lockheed. One of these. Yeah.
That looks like the aircraft from X-Men.
Oh yeah.
You know? Bob, I don't know if it's Lazar or Laser, but it'd be cool if it was Laser.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Jack actually, because when he was leaving this morning, he asked what the topic was. I said Area 51. He's like, look up Bob Lazar. And it's like, I recognize the name, but I don't, haven't heard of him. I talk about him a little bit, very briefly in my section.
Bob Lazar claimed in 1989 that he had worked at Area 51 Sector 4. Said to be located underground inside the Papoose Range near Papoose Lake. Papoose. He claimed that he was contracted to work with alien spacecrafts that the government had in its possession. That was it. That's all I'll go over. You can go over the rest.
Yeah.
So this is like the conception of Area 51.
Okay.
In the early 1950s, U.S. planes were conducting low-flying recon missions over the USSR, but there was constant worries of them being spotted and shot down. So in 1954, President Eisenhower authorized the development of a top-secret high-altitude recon aircraft dubbed Project Aquatone. That's the U-2 or A-12 or whatever. I don't remember already. The program required a remote location that wasn't easily accessible to civilians or spies, and Area 51 fit the bill perfectly. Spies. That was it. Just why it was conceived. And by who.
Sure, makes sense.
That's
it?
That's it.
Okay. What do you believe? What do you think's going on there?
I believe in aliens.
Yeah? Or do you think they're like housed there? Think they're chilling there?
I would like to think that aliens are much more superior to us or more advanced. Because I would be very sad to think that we're the most technologically advanced species in the universe. That'd be really boring. I would love to think that there's
humans suck.
Space travel, time travel,
right.
Teleportation. So for me, I don't think that the government will be able to capture anything. But that's just because I have a very sour view of the government.
Sure. You think they're out there, but the government, even what the technology that the government has, they can't see.
If they did, and if they release stuff and they're like, this is what we found, then awesome. Share away. It'd be great to finally, hear about it. But I just have a hard time believing that we captured anything.
So you don't believe that there's any aliens currently inhabiting Area 51,
No,
right?
maybe they have like spacecrafts or something like that crashed to Earth. Or were placed there because aliens are like, let's see what they can do with this. Let's fuck with them a little. We keep stealing their cows to confuse them, and we haven't gotten anywhere.
I like to think like the aliens have like old spaceships that are like going to be decommissioned. They just got a grant, from the alien government to, they have a new budget. So
maybe Earth is their dumping ground.
Exactly. So they have like a new fleet of spaceships coming in. They got to do something with the old ones. So they just send this one down to Nevada. Let's see if the government will find it. Let's see and just observe.
They'll be like, you know what? Those humans get really excited whenever they find any of our garbage. So let's just like make that a thing.
And that's like their entertainment. And they're watching us from like way far away.
They're like, oh my God, that thing is like 1 million quick-clongs old. That's the measure of time for aliens.
Our military is like looking at the outside and they're all laughing up there. They haven't even fucking found the secret compartment. And oh my God, they're fucking idiots.
They think that's the entrance, but really it's the bathroom.
Yes. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think there's definitely some obviously classified research going on there. Very sensitive. They don't want anything to leak to the public because, I don't know, this is like new and upcoming shit. There's definitely stuff the government doesn't know that, or the government does know that we don't and probably will never know.
There's so many secret societies and so many government secrets that just aren't shared, and it's so frustrating because it's like, come on.
And that's why people want to, that's what attracts people to places like this.
You might even say it brings people to want to storm something.
Funny you say, Paige. Huh. Because my section is actually all about said incident.
Interesting.
Wow. How did you know?
Small world.
Crazy. I jotted this down. I meant to bring this up last episode, but one of my coworkers, Amy, she's really awesome. I love working with her. Shifts with her are great.
Does Amy listen to the podcast?
I don't know, but her husband Bill does.
Okay.
And
hi, Amy and Bill.
Hi, Amy and Bill. And she told me one shift last week. Told me one shift last week that Bill was listening to a couple of the episodes, and it kind of started to freak him out a little bit. And Amy was like, "Yeah, he feels the need to like when he's listening, look behind him and like make sure that because it gives him chills apparently." Listening to some of her episodes, and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's kind of what we want, It's supposed to be comedic, but it's also some of this stuff is pretty spooky, so that's funny.
I also think that the spooky music, very much helps.
Definitely sets the tone. So thanks, Bill, and potentially Amy for checking us out, listening. We appreciate it. I won't need any spooky music for this because it's not very spooky at all. It's more comedic and
maybe you should do campy music
and lighthearted.
Like
yeah, the whole fucking time. I'm sure that'd be great. So this is the headline. This actually Wikipedia has an article about it where I got all the info. It's called "Storm Area 51. They Can't Stop All of Us."
I love that. I joined that Facebook group when it came. Of course.
Oh my gosh. Well, I missed it because I didn't have Facebook at the time, but I definitely heard about it. And I'm pretty sure if you're listening, you have too. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past few years.
Or if you're living in an alien spaceship.
Or if you're an alien, yeah. I don't know. This event took place on September 20th, 2019. This began as a satirical and sardonic Facebook event created by shitposter Maddie Roberts on June 27th, 2019. Wikipedia actually has an article for shitposting. It refers to posting aggressively, ironically, and of trollishly poor quality posts or content to an online form of social media. Shitposting.
Sad that that's become something that requires a Wikipedia article.
Yeah. Well, kind of like, it reminded me how tweet is in the dictionary now as an actual word. So, yeah, shitposting has an actual Wikipedia article. So, Maddie Roberts devised the idea of creating the event after watching Area 51 conspiracy theorist Bob Lazar and filmmaker Jeremy Corbell on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast.
Oh, shit.
on June 20th, 2019. We can only hope to be as successful as Joe Rogan's podcast. Fucking...
I've never listened to it, and
Really?
I don't really know who Joe Rogan is. I just know that he has a podcast.
And
he's bald.
Yeah, he's bald and he's got a podcast. That's really all you need to know
That's
about
the
him.
only information I have.
But for whatever reason, his podcast became probably the most number one listened to podcast online. It's gotten pretty controversial lately, too, but some people really hate it. Some people think it's dumb, but a lot of people really like it. So Bob Lazar... You talked about him a little bit. I have just a couple bullet points about him. He's an American conspiracy theorist who claims to have been hired in the late 1980s to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology at what he described as a secret site called S4, which you mentioned, located several kilometers south of Area 51. He also claims he examined an alien craft that ran on an antimatter reactor powered by element 115, as well as reading U.S. government briefing documents that described alien involvement in human affairs over the past 10,000 years. He has no evidence to support his core claim of alien technology, and he's been analyzed and rejected by skeptics and some UFOologists. The event that he created on Facebook was planned to take place in Amargosa. I think I fucking spelled this wrong. Jesus Christ, typos. Oh, no, I spelled it right. Amargosa Valley, Amargosa Valley, was planned to take place in Amargosa Valley from 0300 to 0600 Pacific Daylight Time on September 20th, 2019, so very early in the morning. The Facebook event wrote, "If we Naruto run, we can move faster than their bullets. Let's see them aliens." He asked Facebook users to band together and raid the site in search for extraterrestrial life that conspiracy lore claims may be concealed inside.
They can't shoot all of us.
No, exactly.
They only got so many bullets.
That was the idea. Robert stated the event had only received about 40 responses 3 days into the event's listing before it suddenly and unexpectedly went viral. The resulting meme quickly spread to other social media applications such as TikTok, at Beer and Fearcast, Reddit, /Beer and Fearcast, and Instagram, at Beer and Fearcast. So, spread all over the internet. The Facebook page for the event was filled with thousands of satirical posts discussing topics like means of breaking into Area 51. The meme's virality caused Roberts to worry that he would receive a visit from the FBI. Roberts also disavowed responsibility for any casualties had there been any actual attempt to raid the base. He's like, yeah, I'm not responsible if you're idiot enough to go in here and actually, try and break in. Not my problem. It received 2 million going and another 1.5 million interested signatures as of August 22. So that was June to August, so 2 months. Over 3.5 million people had reacted to the post. Copycat events, such as plans to storm a genealogical vault of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Loch Ness, Bermuda Triangle, and the Vatican City's archives, were also created.
Why would you need to storm Loch Ness?
I don't know, but remember, I think we mentioned that in the Loch Ness episode that we did.
Yes, we did. But, why would you need to storm Loch Ness? And I feel like I said the same thing. It's an open...
It's just a body of water.
It's an open lock.
They were like, hey, yeah, you can come visit. It's fine, but, just be safe about it. On July 10th, speaking with the Washington Post, Air Force spokeswoman Laura McAndrews stated officials were aware of the event and issued a warning saying, quote, Area 51 is an open training range for the U.S. Air Force, and we would discourage anyone from trying to come into the area where we train American armed forces, adding that, quote, the U.S. Air Force always stands ready to protect America and its assets.
Against itself.
Yep. Watch out.
Look, we'll protect America against its civilians.
From you guys. A public information officer at Nellis Air Force Base told KNPR, which is a radio station in Las Vegas, that any attempt to illegally access the area is highly discouraged. A viral Reddit post showed what it claimed to be an Air Force briefing on the Naruto run.
Stop it.
The FBI also stated they would be monitoring the situation and the number of people that would come to the events. The events also prompted the FAA to post 2 temporary flight restrictions, closing the airspace above to places nearby Area 51 during the days surrounding the planned raid. The Defense Visual Information Distribution Service, DVIDS, which is the military's public relations office, made a Twitter post on September 20th, the day of the event, depicting military personnel and B-2 stealth bomber with the caption, "The last thing hashtag millennials will see if they attempt the hashtag Area 51 raid today."
That seems a little dark and a little weird for a tweet.
The tweet was later deleted and the DVIDS issued an apology. In August 2019, Lincoln County officials drafted an emergency declaration and a plan to pool resources with the neighboring counties, anticipating the region being overwhelmed by a crowd of 40,000 people. The county had just 184 hotel rooms, and officials expected the local cell phone network to be unable to cope with the additional traffic.
That's crazy.
They also expressed concerns about overcrowding at campsites, gas stations, and public medical facilities. County Sheriff Carrie Lee said an extra 300 paramedics and 150 police officers would be brought in from across Nevada. The town of Rachel posted a caution on its website advising attendees to be experienced in camping, hiking, and surviving in a harsh desert environment and have a vehicle in good shape. Did you talk about Rachel?
No, not really. I just mentioned a town.
Yeah, they're the closest civilization that's nearby Area 51. They're just a little bit like northeast of Area 51, and there are some private roads that you can take to access the Area 51 main entrance or back entrance if you wanted to. They're not public roads, but it is the closest spot. They've got some touristy things going on in Rachel, so... They advised that the town would likely be unable to provide sufficient food, water, or gas to visitors and expected local law enforcement to be overwhelmed. Business owners in and around the town, with usually a normal population of only about 56 people, made preparations for visitors who planned to go into Area 51. Connie West, a co-owner of the Little A Lee Inn.
Connie West.
Connie West.
Not Kanye West.
Not Kanye West. And the Little Alien, it's A apostrophe L-E apostrophe Inn.
Adorable.
Little Alien. Restaurant and Inn had all 13 rooms of the inn booked and planned to open up 30 acres for camping, also stating she would possibly create merchandise for the event. Other businesses around the U.S.
lucrative
based products and services on the event, and a collection of merchandise related to the event was launched from online retailers.
I bet you that the dude that started this didn't see an ounce of that money.
Well, just wait.
Oh.
But this is, capitalize on this shit. Of course, you can make money on it. Bud Light planned to release a promotional alien-themed beer label and promised a free beer to, quote, any alien that makes it out, as long as a tweet showing the new design received 51,000 retweets. Area 51, 51,000.
I get that.
Bud Light.
Ugh.
Beginning the day before the planned raid, people were reported to be showing up and camping around Rachel in preparation for the event. The Lincoln County Sheriff estimated that about 1,500 people showed up at the festivals, while about 150 people made the journey over several miles of rough roads to the back gate of Area 51. Some camped overnight outside the perimeter of the base, while others arrived to gather and take selfies near the front gate before leaving. One person attempted to enter the facility and received a warning. While
don't do that.
Get out. Watch yourself.
Okay.
While 6 others were arrested for crimes including public urination, alcohol-related offenses, and indecent exposure.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
2 music festivals were announced in the county in response to the event's popularity. Alien Stock in Rachel and Storm Area 51 Base Camp in Hico, Nevada. Local governments and police feared that even these legal events could be problematic if too many individuals attended. Matty Roberts, the guy who created this, pulled out of Alien Stock 10 days before the festival, leaving other organizers and booked entertainers to run the event. Roberts claimed his last-minute departure with $70,000 to $100,000 in sponsorship money and donations was due to poor planning, and he instead joined an alien-themed party already planned in Las Vegas, although Little A Lee Inn owner Connie West continued with the name Alien Stock in Rachel. Roberts' lawyers sent her a cease and desist regarding use of the name, but West was in possession of all the Alien Stock permits and ignored the legal threats.
Yeah, fuck that.
So this guy made this Facebook post as a joke, and he ended up making $70,000 to $100,000 from donations and sponsorship money. It's incredible. After the raid, Keith Wright, a promoter for the Area 51 Base Camp event, that music festival, stated that the event was a failure. Connie West, however, declared her event a success. Her alien stock event. The event's aftermath saw several pending lawsuits surrounding the festival and Roberts' call to breach the government facility. Although much less than the estimated 30,000 attendees expected before Roberts' departure and a press campaign claiming alien stock was canceled, the event was thought to have brought the largest influx of people ever to visit Lincoln County, Nevada.
Interesting.
That's all I got.
Oh, okay.
Short and sweet. Storm Area 51, 3.5 million people were either interested or, going, and
they got busy.
Still 1,500 people? That's still a lot of people. And I wish I could have gone. It sounded like a lot of fun.
I want a Naruto run into a haze of bullets.
Where's, I'm trying to pull this up.
Elixir says he's made the trip to Rachel,
He's got his own hat.
Oh, my own hat. I like that they have a recording of his legs.
Look at this
oh
stuff.
my god.
He's ready.
Stop it. I hope you came with friends.
It's pretty great.
Adorable. Anything else?
I don't think so.
What did you think of the beer?
What did you think of the beer?
That's what I asked.
It was a pretty nice way to end this series of 10 episodes. It's a nice end cap, I liked it. It was very smooth, balanced, New England IPA, hazy IPA, whatever you want to call it. The hops were pleasant. It wasn't too much of one thing, I think the one hop beer kind of did it some justice. Simple, but also very, very exquisite, very nice.
Exquisite.
I dig it. A little bit more enthusiasm than just it's good. I'm a little bit more.
You're
trying to
mix it up now.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it a lot. It was my number 4. It was also your number 4. It's delicious. Very good. I would definitely order another one. What about you?
I enjoyed it. I thought that it was a really good IPA. Or New England IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Very flavorful. The one hop, a lot of the times with IPAs, it's just like, it's this hop, this hop, this hop, and this hop. And I get that it's to, bring different flavor profiles together. But sometimes it's nice to be simple.
Yes.
And if you can get those good flavors coming out of, just one hop and a well put together brew, then this was good.
I agree.
This was really well done.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I liked it more than some of our other New England IPAs that we had.
It was very juicy. Pineapple was very obvious, but it still had that good hoppy bite.
Yep.
But not too much.
Yep.
So I would probably have another one if I were to be a person that likes to drink multiple of one thing.
Right. Yep. Totally get it. What about you, Soda? What did you think? All right.
Thanks for the input.
Yep. beerandfearcast@gmail.com is our email. Send us anything you want.
Death threats.
Mm-hmm. We'll take just about anything.
We're desperate.
Yeah, we'll talk about it on the show, whatever it is.
Yep, we will.
We need more stories for Frights and Flights. I was talking to my friend Allison yesterday. Mm-hmm. She saw a ghost.
Okay.
She has a ghost encounter experience.
Allison?
So I was
Does
like,
Allison listen to the podcast?
I don't know. Even though it was very brief, she probably doesn't have a lot to talk about. It would still be cool to get her input and short little story, sweet story, and then get a beer rec. So I'll reach out to her, see if she wouldn't mind sending some over. So any ghost stories or encounters, paranormal encounters, just spooky things that happen to you in your life, doesn't even really need to involve a ghost, just something that you can't really explain, something that's mysterious or crazy. Write a little bit about it, a little blurb, paragraph, whatever, send it our way to our email, and then recommend a beer with it. And we will read your story, shout you out on the show, and then try your beer in a flight of beers on a very special episode for Frights and Flights, whenever that becomes a thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Where can people find us, Paige?
On multiple websites.
Yeah.
On Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, soon to be TikTok, and then Facebook. Am I missing anything?
I think that's all of them, yeah. TikTok. TikTok's the new one.
Yes, soon to be TikTok.
Trying to get in with the young crowd.
We're getting in with the youths. Not in a weird way, in a respectable way.
A very polite, mature, and consent way.
Yeah, in a way that's not creepy.
And then we're available on every popular podcast platform. Wherever you get your podcasts, we're available. So you can check us out and stay up to date with our podcast on our social media platforms. But that is episode 40. Another 10 down.
Another 10.
Another 10 to go of Beer and Fear. Next 10 will be episode 50. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's a big one. Have to break out the trombone again.
Oh, hell yeah.
100%.
Nice.
Maybe I'll learn a song.
That'd be great. We'll have to theme the song around the episode.
Maybe I'll play the Beer and Fear, the 30-second music on my trombone. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll try.
I'm sure your neighbors would love that.